friends, Kathy here with a What's in My Bag Wedge edition. Alright, so you asked me how many wedges I carry in my bag. I carry 4. I carry a lob wedge, which is a 58 degree. I carry a sand wedge, which is a 54 degree. I carry a gap wedge, which is a 50 degree. And then I carry a pitching wedge, which is kind of like, I would say like 46 or 45 degrees. I'm not quite sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate each one, and you're going to pay attention to how high the ball goes. And the reason why you're going to pay attention to that is because the assortment of wedges that I have allows me to hit different types of shots. Because I'm not the longest player, I rely heavily on my wedges for longer golf courses, because sometimes on a par 4, I'm not going to get it on the green. I'm going to be leaving it just short of the green, which is why I want an assortment of wedges here, okay? The brands are a little bit different in the way that they label clubs. So this particular one is a number 10, and that's a very common Japanese style of labeling the clubs here. So I have my pitching wedge here, and all I'm going to do with this pitching wedge is I am going to take a narrow stance and I'm going to choke it down. We're going to go ahead and set it up, nice little bump and run. Go ahead and pay attention to how high this club goes. And you can see that it kind of just rolls out there, okay? So the next one that I'm going to grab is my gap wedge. And my gap wedge is going to loft a little bit higher, but it's still going to have a good amount of roll. This is probably one of my favorite clubs in the bag because it's very versatile. So we'll go ahead and set it up exactly the same way. You can see we'll loft it up a little bit higher and the ball rolls out. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and grab my sand wedge here. Same thing, same type of shot. A little bit higher in loft, a little less roll, you see that? And lastly, my lob wedge that I like to use just off the greens if I need some extra height. And you can see how high that ball goes. So those are the difference in my wedges. There really is no yes or no or right or wrong answer to how many wedges you should be carrying. If you are a beginner, I suggest that you get a sand wedge and a pitching wedge at the least. If you're a little bit more of an intermediate player or you're a short player like me, then I would suggest you get a gap wedge to fill the gap between your sand wedge and your pitching wedge. A question that I commonly get asked is, do I have to have the same type of shaft in my wedges? And the short answer is yes, ideally, because we want to be able to maintain a consistent feel. And you'll see I have the same shaft in all 3 of these. The pitching wedge, though, will most likely come with your full iron set, and that may be a graphite, which is fine, or whatever you're using for the rest of your set because it's a little bit longer. But at least for the very last 2 or 3 clubs that you have in your bag, if it's a lob wedge and a gap wedge and a sand wedge, I would suggest that you try to maintain the same type of club altogether, just a different loft, okay? Let me know if you have any questions. If you have any comments, you know what to do. Thanks for watching.